With the scoreline still reading 0-0 and the outcome hanging on a knife edge, the final stages of the match descended into an extraordinary and emotionally charged sequence of events marked by controversy, confusion, and raw tension, particularly deep into stoppage time in the second half, when dramatic scenes unfolded as Senegalese players, acting together under the leadership and instruction of their head coach Pape Thiaw, walked off the pitch in a clear and defiant protest after a late and fiercely contested penalty was awarded to their opponents in the 98th minute. The frustration and anger within the Senegal camp had been steadily building long before that decisive incident, as they had already been incensed by what they believed was an earlier injustice at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, where a goal they felt should have stood was controversially disallowed, leaving players visibly stunned, coaching staff furious, and emotions running dangerously high on the touchline. Senegal were convinced they had finally broken the deadlock when substitute Ismaila Sarr rose confidently inside the penalty area and powered a header into the back of the net, an effort that sparked scenes of jubilation as teammates rushed to celebrate what they believed was a dramatic, late, and potentially match-winning goal, only for those celebrations to be abruptly and painfully halted when Congolese referee Jean-Jacques Ndala intervened and ruled the goal out, judging that Abdoulaye Seck had committed a foul on Achraf Hakimi in the build-up, a decision that intensified Senegal's sense of injustice and led to animated protests, raised arms, and heated exchanges with the match officials. As the clock continued to tick through the 8 minutes of added time, the atmosphere inside the stadium became increasingly hostile and suffocating, with every referee decision scrutinized, every whistle greeted with disbelief, and emotions escalating with each passing second. The drama reached a boiling point in the final moments of stoppage time when the referee, after consulting video replays, awarded a penalty to Morocco following an incident in which Brahim Diaz was pulled down inside the penalty area by Senegal defender El Hadji Malik Diouf, a call that immediately sparked outrage and disbelief among the Senegal players and staff. The moment Ndala pointed to the penalty spot proved to be the final straw for Thiaw, who reacted furiously by instructing the majority of his players to abandon the pitch and head toward the dressing room in a powerful and symbolic act of protest that underlined the depth of their anger and their belief that the decision was unfair and potentially decisive. The controversial call also triggered chaotic scenes near the touchline, as tempers flared between several Moroccan substitutes and Senegalese players, leading to pushing, shouting, and aggressive confrontations that threatened to spiral completely out of control, forcing match officials, team staff, and security personnel to intervene urgently in an attempt to restore some level of order. Morocco head coach Walid Regragui was also drawn into the turmoil, appearing to involve himself in the unfolding scenes, possibly in an effort to calm emotions, restrain his players, and prevent the situation from deteriorating further amid the confusion, hostility, and noise that engulfed the stadium. After a prolonged delay marked by arguments, visible frustration, and uncertainty over whether the match would even be able to continue, play eventually resumed, allowing the decisive moment to finally take place. In the 4th minute of extra time, Guy stepped forward under immense pressure and responsibility and delivered the winning goal, striking the ball cleanly and confidently with his left foot and sending it into the top right corner of the net, a composed and clinical finish that ultimately settled a match that will be remembered as much for its controversy, emotional intensity, and dramatic scenes as for the football itself. Speaking afterward, Guy reflected on the chaotic and demanding nature of the encounter, explaining that the team had been driven by an overwhelming desire to win despite the extreme difficulty of the match, describing it as physically exhausting and mentally draining, while emphasizing that in the face of adversity, tension, repeated interruptions, and intense pressure, every player had remained committed, shown resilience, fought until the very final moment, and given absolutely everything they had in order to secure victory.